welcome to Guysuco Roundup. I'm Angela Abraham Parks. We continue the series of special programs that reflect estate life and show collaboration among employees in a common field. This week, the contribution of Albion Estate is featured, along with the work of the Agriculture Research Center in the biological control of pests.
From the very land that gave sugar around the world the name Demerara comes the finest quality of cane sugar, Demerara Gold. Enjoy the real thing from the original source, the rich, fertile Demerara coastline where sugarcane has been harvested since the mid-17th century. The result is here for you to enjoy. Wherever this unique sugar flavor is needed, Demerara Gold is the ingredient that will always create a stir.
Welcome back. The Albion Estate, our largest sugar producer, contributing more than 50% of the industry total in 2019. Employees' improvement in attendance is noteworthy, even during this off-crop period.
Hello, my name is Jenny Tarichan. I'm attached to the finance department for this section. I have been working here for the past 12 years and I love what I'm doing. Last crop was a quite challenging year here in Albion, but all in all it was a good crop. During last year, I had a chance to be part of the Workers' Council, which was quite exciting. I mean, I was exposed to so many different areas of operation, and it was quite enjoying, especially to go to the expansion seat, to see the land conversion, and also the factory. I would like for the estate to make our target for the year 2020, and I wish the corporation all the best in the future. Yeah, I was really glad for us to make our weekly target to achieve our WPI for the next 11 weeks of the crop.
And they were all cooperative during the whole process of the crop. But because of the target wasn't achieved in the second crop, because you have some mechanical breakdown in the factory. So that is one of the reasons. So what I would like to see come in 2020, the first crop in 2020, is that they resolve most of those mechanical problems. And I hope it will be done. So we'll have a good crop in the first crop in 2020. And also I like to say that in terms of management and worker relation, in terms of issue and grievance, they always have the door open to have discussion and to solve whatever problems or anything, any little matter concerning work or production at Albion Estate. And I do hope that this year 2020 will be a very good year for Albion Football Estate, for the industry. And I always encourage workers to come out to work on a regular basis, do the job what they have to do. Whatever little issue they have or any grievance, I am here to encourage them to go to work, not to strike. Right? Not to strike. And I have further discussion either immediately to solve the whatever grievance they have, so that they can continue work. And they are cooperative. They are very cooperative workers in this estate. And they understand the role that they have to play, and they understand the role that I have to play, because there's a grievance procedure, agreement, right? And a collective labor agreement that which I have to follow concerning them their grievance to solve whatever matter they have. So in terms of work and safety in this estate, it is good. It is good in terms of the workers' benefit and for the company. And also I just always encourage them to be on the safe side. That if you have any problem, you know anything is not safe, report it to somebody, some staff, either a junior staff or a senior staff, so they can look at it and deal with it immediately and avoid any problem or accident. So we can create the most safe environment for all the workers in this estate.
My name is Krishna Moy, field foreman attached to the number 6A in gang at the Alban estate. We have two sides, Alban Portman, so I'm attached to the Alban side department. For the second crop of 2019, wasn't such a great crop for us at Alban estate due to the factory having a lot of breakage, a lot of downtime, causing the field not to get work certain times, like harvesters. You know, people have to be called off and all these things. One of the reasons for the factory not being able to perform so well is finance. You know, a lot of old parts need to be used and these things, and we hope to see that in 2020 that maybe some finance can be put in the system to get these parts rectified and people could be able to work more punctual. From the field side where I'm from, I could say that we didn't perform bad, because based upon our estimates, we were supposed to, the estimate show that we are supposed to get 65 tons skin per hectare. We had a plus of 66 based on what is harvested. We had a +1, and the canes is there in the field. Because of the breakage in the crop, we had to have some carryover canes, over 1,000 hectare cane carryover to this forest crop.
There are some positive because I mean in the field department we were bringing in canes regularly, which you don't normally have before. I mean the cutters and the harvesters was loading the canes to the required punt weight, 6.5 tons per punt. You know, things were going in the way, but at the end of the factory we had our issues. It's not our standard. It's not something we are proud of. But coming the year 2020, we are not hoping, but we are optimistic that we will do far better. The entire team is working feverishly and assiduously to make, well, the factory was a major problem, so we're looking at that aspect of it, trying to make everything and do all the necessary repairs we have to do. We are doing a lot of repairs, I mean, and a lot of dedication has been put into the factory to ensure that this coming crop, which is 11 weeks crop budgeted, that we at least make it 9 WPI, at least. I mean, I would also like to encourage my fellow workmates that we should put our shoulders together. This is not beyond us. I mean, whatever happened last year is not our standard, and we all know that. We are accustomed to seeing a lot of the WPIs. I mean, the second crop this year, we did not make any WPI. I mean, I guess this is a first for us. And if we put our shoulders together, this won't happen again. And I know, and I can assure you that this won't happen again at Alban, because the amount of work we are putting into the factory right now, it will only go to show that at the end of 2020 you'll see the fruits of our labor. And with all that we are doing, I'll continue to encourage my fellow workmen. Let's put our hands together and let we work to this goal of achieving our yearly target.
At this present moment as I speak, work has been done there to rectify and to alleviate the problem that come 2020 it will not reoccur. But I know, as I could see for the future of 2020, I know we're going to have a crop that I think one will be proud of it in the end. I should say we have a good management team and workers. I'm speaking on behalf of my department. We have a lot of workers. Actually, people actually know their stuff there, and people are there. The youngest maybe 3 years experience up to like 30 years of experience. So on and all, when we put our resources together, because okay, no one is perfect, no one's know everything, but when we pull our resources and our knowledge together And I think with what happened in 2019 second crop, I think we were able to better it in this 2020 from first crop 2020. We have a very strong management team too, who is very knowledgeable, I should say, because they were here for some time. And some, as I said, something was beyond our control, and we cannot rectify them during the time of grinding. That we have to just identify them and wait for a time like this when we have the out of crop period, when we can go more in detail and to do a more genuine maintenance work.
It's traditional in Guysuco to place high priority on safety on the job. Managers ensure that this practice is demonstrated in every facet of responsibility.
Occupational health and safety at the estate is very, very important. The estate or the corporation place a lot of emphasis in as it relates to safety generally at the estate. As it relates to safety at Alvin Portmont Estate, last year can be deemed as a very good year for us as it relates to occupational health and safety. A year which we would have reached most of the mandate or the objective set by the company. As it relates to accident reduction, the estate would have reduced accident by 21.46% compared to 2018, which we would have recorded 205 accidents, and last year 2019 we would have recorded 161, which give us a reduction of 21.46%. That by itself is very good in terms of accident reduction. As you are aware, our objective is to reduce accident by 10% each year. However, we would have managed to reduce by 21%. However, the objective of the company is to reduce accident or to work in such a way that we have very minimal accident within our working environment. As it relates to man days lost, the estate would have managed to reduce by 39.49% compared to 2018, which is also a tremendous achievement for the estate. As you are aware, each accident sustained at the estate is that we would have lost man days, and man days which could have been very crucial man days where we have to achieve our set objective. The estate is very labor intensive, and each man day's loss is very important for us. Overall, we are looking to reduce accident by 10%, like I indicated earlier, but it's important that we also look at the man days loss also from each accident. Last time accident as per 100,000 man hours work, that is an area that we also monitor, and as of last year we would have showed a reduction of 21.78% reduction compared to 2018. 2018 we were showing 3.65 accident as per 100,000 man hours work compared to 2019, which we showed 2.85. And that is also one area that we are looking at, and in terms of managing accident within our working area, it also helps us to better plan. The overall objective is to reduce that figure to the international standard, which is 1.40, but we are way above that international standard, but we are working to reduce that figure tremendously. The first half of 2019 we were showing a vast reduction as it relates to accident when compared to 2018, but subsequently as the big crop would have proceeded and commenced, we would have gotten an increase in terms of accident. However, one of the leading causes of accident at this point in time at Alvin Portmont Estate is unsafe working behavior, unsafe work practice. We are working with employees, training, try to develop. Also, the estate has a OHS management system which we're working with. We're trying to train the employee in terms of the safe work practice, also safe work technique within the working area, so as to better sensitize, better equip employee to execute their job within the various sections.
In terms of worker safety and the environment of the workshop is of paramount importance to manager and worker. For 2019, we only had one lost time accident, and we were able to discuss and talk to people in terms of the importance of their working safely, because welding is a very high risk job and we tend to pay a lot of importance, emphasis on safety on the workshop. Generally, I think we were able to deliver, as I said, 90% of our job. For 2020, we have 150 ponds to build, which we're going to start early February, and we're going to start distributing those ponds to Blaymont Forest, and then we're going to move back to Albion. We plan to do some rebottoming, which would be over 30 cane ponds for Albion in early March. We are presently doing a lot of work for the factory, Iflot, Blaymont, and Albion to get them starting by the 8th and the 15th respectively. Generally, I think the morale of Central Workshop employees are very high. They're very innovative. We continue to lose skill, but we are depending on the training school to suffice that shortcoming, and we are encouraging young people to join the apprenticeship so they can become part of Central after their training at the training school. All in all, I think that with materials coming on time, finance improving in our company, we should be able to pull off a better year in 2020. Finally, 2019 was indeed a successful year for the workers and the staff, and we expect that the continued support from our senior management at head office and across the company will continue. Thank you.
Now, in 2020 forest crop, the plantation work will start in at Albion Portmoran. So we are looking at all aspects. It is very, very important that our energy efficiency within the factory is of optimum, and that is utilizing more bagasse to generate power and steam generation, and the utilization of steam to have our back pressure, to ensure that our pumps are efficient and they're not outdated, not utilizing too much of energy, so that we can have more energy available for the plantation white. It is a very, very critical element of the producing plantation white. We can bring in additional vessel, additional component within the factory would need additional energy, both electrical and steam. And that is something we need to look at, and we are looking at in detail so that our efficiency can go down. Now, looking forward, we're working on replanting, our tillage program, or land conversion, and we embark in semi-mech planting, complementing the manual planting. That by itself is moving us to the right direction towards strategic plan. This year, forest crop, we expect to push as much as 1,000 hectare tillage and replanting program, and that would be around 150 a minimum conversion, land conversion, so that we could do more semi-mech operation, we can do more mechanical and more efficient operation within our crop husbandry, so that we can complete crop husbandry and agronomic practices on time, so that we give our plant cane, our canes, the opportunity to grow and develop and utilize the wet season, so that we can have optimum cane growth. The other thing that we are embarking seriously on to strengthen our forest crop is also extension of our newer varieties. We have a primary nursery, secondary, and commercial nursery, which we are pursuing aggressively, and this is now our second year. We already have a lot of canes on the ground that we need to expand, which we see some very promising varieties. In terms of our pole percent cane, we are looking at a higher tonnage per hectare, so that when we do our business hinges on a lot on ton sugar per hectare. The more tons cane we can get per hectare, and if it is high pole or better pole at an average, well, then you'll have a higher tons sugar per hectare. Occupational health and safety continue to be our hallmark in our business, because we are still in the employment of over 4,000 employees at Alvin Portland Estate. And we're also looking after the NDI operation at Rosal, Providence, Skelton operation, the Kanji Creek, the outstation within Kanji Creek. So those are all employees within our estate. And those are people that we also continue to look after and service. We continue to service our pensioners. We continue to look after the dispensary at Rosal, Alvin, Portmoran, and Skelton. Those are services that we continue. We continue to look after the community center at Rosal, Alvin, Portmoran, and Skelton. And those are added responsibility that we are also looking at so that the community, the wider community. At our community center, we continue to have a very vibrant cricket club at Alvin and Portmoran. We also have other classes for karate. We also have sewing classes, cooking. We have custom, looking at cosmetology and all these sort of things. The IT, the computer training continue at Alvin Portmoran area. And those are activities that we think. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate each and every workers and thank them for the service that they gave in 2019. We are looking forward for a better time. There is always room for improvement. I'll ask that our staff ensure that the area that they are operating, that they know the area, they master the area, they work with the workers, they work with the union so that we could get the best out of whatever we have. They would never be enough. There will always be shortage of things, but it's how well we utilize what we have. We must strive. Alvin Portmoran is an extremely important place of employment, welfare, drainage, everything for Region 6 and this area, the community, the wider community. Apart from the employees who are directly related to the estate, we also have a lot of business that directly depended on Alvin estate operation, the Rosal Town, some other areas. The business people would often tell you these things. So I want to take this opportunity and looking forward for a very interesting first crop 2020 and even a better second crop 2020 and a better year, one of the better year, and surpass in excess of 60,000 tons of sugar.
The Guyana Sugar Corporation is saddened to learn of the passing of Mrs. Rena Shupershad, wife of the estate manager of Albion, Mr. Sribawan Shupershad. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and relatives at this time.
Albion, as our largest sugarcane processing location, will feature significantly in the corporation's strategic plan, realizing the white sugar production plan and cogeneration. We now join Georgiana Bola with an update on the Agriculture Research Center.
Thank you, Angela. The Agriculture Research Facility, which provides a range of testing parameters for soils, plants, sugar, water, and oil, continues to reassess methods and practices for improvement. Estates agronomists, field supervisors, and insectary attendants have participated in a workshop geared to provide a sustainable approach to pest management.
Today, we look at the methodology of selecting the larvae in the field, and when they are taken to the laboratory, how we select what we will parasitize. We look at the method in which we stung the larvae, and we'll also look at how we rear those larvae and cocoon into the cortesia for further release into the field. Now, the biological control program is a sustainable approach to pest management. It's very safe. It's been a prominent approach in Guysuco. It's also cost effective because since the 1990s, we have not used insecticides to control diarrhea. And that's a very big plus to Guysuco. It's also environmentally friendly. And it is an essential component of the integrated pest management strategy that we have. Now, our program has actually garnered support. We are actually in a process where we will soon partnering with the Guyana Rice Development Board, GRDB, Research Station, where this biological control program will be extended to their research in hope that we can find a suitable wasp that will help to control the paddy bug. We have also been receiving invitation from countries like Jamaica to export our Cotesia flavipels. So this biological control program is very vibrant within Guysuco, and it's also renowned internationally. You need to show us what you select and what you discard, right? Yeah. You should give them a separate thing.
No, when you finish opening, then you can put in another dish. Pick another dish.
We will adapt to the methodology that is done by iFlood, because the technical system, the insect attendant would have alluded to the fact that he would have learned that technology from Alvin over the years, but for some reason Alvin has lost that skill. So I think we have learned from the exercise, and we would implement back the same methodology that Wales is using, and expose more training for insectary attendants so that they can improve and we can realize the full potential at Alvin.
It's less handling of the diarrhea, which will more so get 100% in the parasitism. So it was a good presentation, everything was well done, and I must say we learned a little bit more from iFlood. Thank you.
In October of last year, the significant contribution of the agriculture research facilities here at LBI was publicly identified as pivotal in the agriculture sector's transition to a green economy.
And with that, we've come to the end of this week's program of Guysuco Roundup. Thank you for staying tuned, and do join us again next time. I'm Angela Abraham Parks. Goodbye.